How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a 2000s organ banger. We're going to be looking at Nishi's Cruel Summer remix. This track can't be found on Spotify, but I think it was like a white label back in the day, so it can still be found on YouTube. Here's a snippet of my remake. Great, so this tune is pretty simple and it's pretty much built around the famous organ bass line. This has been, of course, made famous by tons of tracks, such as Robin S. Show Me Love. Can't Get You Out of My Head by Kylie Minogue. And even in the modern day, the organ bass is used in tons of tracks. This organ bass comes from this Korg M1, which is a synth that was made in 1988 and released to the general public. Obviously, we're not going to be using the hardware synth because it's the exact same as it's a sampler, not an actual analog synth. It's just a sample synth or a sampler keyboard. So this has the exact same sound quality as the analog synth. So there's really no point buying that and wasting space in your studio. So let's put up a full, fresh M1 and show you how it's made. So you go solo, this is how I do it anyway, there's loads of different ways. You go load, you go prog, organ, organ 2, turn it all the way up, turn down the panning. You can turn down that reverb. I like to leave it a little bit on because I do actually quite like that reverb. Just hear it. Go to insert effects, there's also a hall reverb on here, that's what we've turned off. And then you can go to the master effects and there's an ensemble hall. Bring that up. What I also like to do is turn this exciter all the way up. So it's sort of like an overdrive-y sort of like distortion unit, but it's really nice. So I can do that again. Creates a sort of really tinny high end, but I don't know, I really like that. I wish they could put this in like a third-party plugin so you could use on like anything. So you get rid of it. It's pretty dull. So yeah, drag that all the way up, it sounds nice. So yeah, obviously on the insert effects, you can like turn these up or down, it's up to you. But yeah, make sure you're not having too much chorus from like, the insert effects and the master effects as well. Cool, once you've got that, you're pretty much good to go. And the extra thing you can do, and a lot of modern day producers do, is add an OTT. You're gonna make sure the amount's quite low. Before and after. This brings out the high end a little bit more. Another alternative, if you're like on FL Studios or whatever, is this OTT by X for Records, whatever you say it. Turn the depth down. Again, that's maybe even a better one, to be honest. You can also lower it a little bit. Cool, and if we have a look at my one, I didn't actually put any effects on because this is like a sort of 90s, 2000s organ banger. So they didn't really have OTT back then, so I just left it off. But obviously in modern day productions, you might want to put it on. It's sort of up to you, it's a taste thing. Great, now let's have a look at the MIDI. So yeah, the MIDI is sort of where the beauty of this song comes. It's honestly so sporadic, but it just sounds amazing. So like Speed Garage, it's important to have like these rogue notes. Because there's no real melody. Again, like on organ bangers, you don't put any melody. So you're not gonna like insert a lead and all this and then like draw in some sort of like Kygo style lead, like beep, beep, beep. You're just not gonna do that because it's sort of basically about the bass line, the drums and the vocal. These sort of old bangers are really simple, and it's more about like the writing of the bass line and the vocal. So yeah, I mean, just if I was to give any advice, it's like have a lot of notes, like keep it very busy. As you can see, it's not slow, it's not just like plonking along like a deep house sort of tune. I mean, there's not too much I can really say about this, to be honest. Obviously, feel free to pause the video and copy this. These are the full notes. Cool, and now we move on to the drums. these drums are actually from my Speed Garage Volume 3 pack. You can get that from the link in the description. So this pack has over 300 loops, one-shots and effects for making sick modern day Speed Garage. It's got tons of loops, so you can just like drag in loops and you haven't got to be an expert at making your own drums from scratch. Obviously you've got all the one-shots and stuff in there if you want to do that yourself, but who can really be asked? It's much easier to just like drag and drop some sick loops in. Cool, so the first thing we've got is this kick. Really fat kick. We got this top. And then I padded it out a little bit more with a ride. If I exaggerate it. This makes it more energetic. In order to make a ride, you've got to go like up, down in like the velocity. A normal one would be like this, just straight hitting. But what you've got to do, drag that down as you can see, and then just duplicate like that. And then after that, you've got to add a compression, so like a side chain. If I turn it off, but if you add this, it's going to make it pump. So it's less obvious, it sits nice in the mix. And then on top of that, I just added another hat. Pretty simple. You could also spice this up even more and do the same, so you could go up, down. This is a very common technique in Speed Garage. But yeah, I didn't really feel like I needed it because I was already doing a bit of up, down in this top loop. Guys, I hope that video was useful. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.